So hopefully this looks familiar. So this one gives you these two pictures. This is 88, whatever section it is, 2-4. And it asks you some questions. Now, if all you have is the picture, you don't know any of the data points. But can somebody tell me for the first date for data 1? Let me see if you guys can do this. Can anyone tell me what percentage of data 1 is between 2 and 4? Say again? No. No. For data 1, right? What percentage is from 2 to 4? So, what does this mean? Don't say 2. What does this mean? How do I create a box plot? I have to first find the what?
Q1, 2.
Yes, the 5-number summary. 5-number summary. So what's this? This is the low. This is the Q1. So what percentage is here? 25%, because that's Q1, right? So I asked, what percentage is from here to here? That also is 25%. So if you were saying that, I'm sorry. I heard a lot more wrong answers than correct ones. All right. Of course, what's always in the box? What's in the box? 50%. And again, if you can't see this, this is the median, right? So what percentage of the data is down here? 50%. That cuts it in half. This is first quartile. 25% is there. So what must be here? 25%. Again, it's visual. It's physical. You can see it. All right. So the questions don't exactly say what I just said, but the more you understand what I just said, the more these questions will make sense. It asks you something really strange. Why is this false? Data 1 has more values above 2 than data 2. Now, does data 1 have a larger percentage? What percentage is above 2 for data 1? What percentage is below 2?
25.
So what percentage is above 2? 75%. What percentage is above 2 in data 2? So, half of it, right? 50%. Are you with me? So is there a larger percentage in data 1 above 2? Yes. Does that mean that there are more data points in data 1 above 2? No. Because maybe data 1 has 13 data points, and maybe data 2 has 18 billion data points. Maybe. So this is related to the problem about the complaints at airlines. I love you guys so much. Do you know that California has the second most people in prison? You know that? Does that mean that we suck so bad that most of us just got to go to prison? What else do we also have? We actually have the most what? We have the most people. So the fact that we're only second in terms of people in prison is actually good. Or it's not bad. It's not good to have people in prison. But do you see what I'm trying to say here? That's exactly what's behind that problem about airlines. Too many people are saying stuff like, well, I don't know. Well, yeah, you got to know the total number. Give me the percentage. Then I can compare things. Maybe. So I do know that there's a higher percentage of data above 2, right? There's 75% here and 50% there. But this is false. I can't say this because I don't know how many data points is in either set. So 75% of you guys watch Game of Thrones, right? 75% of you guys hated season 8, let's say. And then next door, 50% of them hated season 8. Did less people hate season 8 next door? Or what am I missing? I need to know how many total people are next door. Maybe there's 300 people next door somehow, right? Like standing right on top of each other. I don't know why. More of them like season 8, so they don't make sense. So maybe that's why they all crammed into that room. Anybody ever watch Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Season 8?
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
So then for the second one where it says the data set cannot have the same mode, that's false too because we have no idea what the data set is.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, they both could have one of every data point but maybe this one has 2 4s and that one has 2 4s. I mean, how would I know? I don't know anything about any specific data point. I just know percentages of where they fell, right?
And then,
And then for part 3, the funny thing here is, anytime they talk about more data values, I have no idea how many data values total is in either.
okay.
So that's why those kind of questions are going to be automatically false. So if you paid attention, we just did that problem together. I'm not going to say it again.
So can I just clarify for my understanding? So for this one, basically the answers are no, because we don't know what the data set is for either one.
Not for number 2, but
Okay.
1 and 3 maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, maybe. Anything else? Where do you guys want to go next? Does anyone want to do another quick, smaller standard deviation set, just to do it again? Because you're going to have to do it on your own come Thursday. All right, so let's make up some data. Yeah. Let's make a nice little small set of data here. I'm not even going to try to make it come out nice. So this is not too bad. We can figure out the mean real quick just here, right? I mean, this is my data. And real quick, let me see if you guys are cool with this. Let's figure out what the mean is. How do I get the mean? So what do you get when you add them all up? Oh, I might pour a little calculator. Yeah, 35, so divided by 4. That's going to be 8.75. Kick ass. All right, let me stop for a minute. Is everybody with me just on that? I didn't really need the lists in the calculator because it's such a small set of data. Right, I could do that pretty easy, quick. Okay, so now I know how to build up this next thing. So I'm trying to figure out the standard deviation. So what's this column got to be? Good. So if you want to, we could try to do this whole thing without the calculator, and then I'll show you how you get the same stuff in the calculator, right? Because all I got to do here is 3 minus 8.75. Yeah, negative 5.75. Whoa. And then 8 minus 8.75 is just negative 0.75. Is everybody with me? So this is what I mean. You don't have to do this with the calculator, but if it's a longer list, it should make it quicker. 9 minus 8.75? Yeah, 9 minus 8.75 is 25 cents. 15 minus 8.75? 6.25. I like it. Okay. Is everybody with me on how I got those? Did we round the mean at all? No, thankfully the mean came out nice. So these have to add up to be what? 0. So these are 6.5. Is that cool? And these are negative 6.5. So sure enough, the sum of these is 0. Do you have to do that? No. But that's a nice check. Normally, the big mistake people make is they calculate the mean, but then they put the wrong number in there, and they all come out negative. That should be an automatic red flag. That second, it's got to add up to 0. So if they're all negative, it's not going to add up to 0. You did something wrong. Stop. Right? Go back. Unless you have no time, in which case you just do as much as you can, because I will take points off once for the mistake you made, and if you do everything else correctly, you won't lose any more points. Does that make sense? Okay, so depending on the time, figure out what you can do. Now what do I do next?
Square.
Yeah, because of this stupid thing happening, I better square these things. Oh, dang it. Stupid numbers. We made them up. They do what we want. Blah. So here I need a little help with the calculator, right? So if I square that, I'm just squaring these things. I should know that one. I'm not even going to try. And then that one, who knows? Squared, Jeff. Is everybody with me? I'm just squaring these stupid things, right? Can't really see what that says, but this calculator's showing off because it's got all kinds of battery. Whatever. You guys all with me? Yes? Okay, okay. And then the next thing oh yes?
Can you go up on the calculator?
Up how?
Right, to where you did negative 5.75.
So I just did 5.75, if I just did it right, 5.75 squared, because I know the negative is going to... Now watch this, you ready? If you do this, what have you done wrong? You've already done something wrong. You did not square negative 5.75. You squared 5.75, and then you put a negative on it. We should know, this is where I get students come up and say, I think my batteries are low or something. It's telling me that squared is negative. You didn't square negative 5.75. This is negative 5.75 squared, right? Of course it's going to be positive. So what I do is, if I'm doing each one individually, I don't even put the negative in the first place. Because I'm the human. I know the negative is going to die. So why even write it down? So be really careful. There should be no negatives in this one. Some of you guys maybe know complex numbers. Ain't going to be no complex numbers in this class. But those are the only numbers you can square and have them come out negative. Right? They're also called, the parts of them are called imaginary numbers, which is an unfortunate name. And that's where students go, I knew you just making up this shit every day. Yeah, just make this shit as it go. Yeah. All right, and then I just got to add those up. You guys with me? Because for the formula, I got to know the sum of these. Well, I got a bunch of these, so now I can just add them up. Let me see, what do I get? You got to try in your head, Jeff? What was it?
72.75.
72.75? Oh, get out of there, Jeff. There it is. 7 become big. Rah, 7. Okay. So if I want to figure out the variance, it's going to be that I just did, divided by n minus 1. Right? That's the formula's going to be on your formula sheet. So it's going to be what we just got, divided by, in this case, just, what's n in this problem? What's n? N minus 1 is 3. N is 4, right? N is 4. So n minus 1 is 3. N is just always the number of data points you're working with. That's what n always is in statistics. Do you know? Well, I'm going to go there. So S squared. Sorry, what do you get? 24.25. I like it. So that's the variance. And then, of course, I just take square root. What do you guys get? If you accidentally square it, you should know you made a mistake because square rooting that should make it smaller, right? So you should be able to catch your own mistakes when they're that egregious. Oh, I forgot I was going to do that one. Does that make sense in this case? Yes. The mean was 8.75. So that got about 4.25 away. 15 got almost 7 away, right? And 9 and 8 only got very little bit away. So on average, they got about 4.924, about 5 away on average. So that does make sense. If it came out with 1, way too small. If it came out with 20, oh, holy shit. Do you have to estimate it? No, but if you know how to estimate it, you can catch yourself if you make a silly mistake. Okay. By the way, if we're doing stuff that you know already, you can just do quiz corrections, right? They're due on Thursday. If you want full points, as many points back as you can get. You can turn stuff in late. They just won't count as much. So you can turn in quiz 1 corrections. You can turn it in on the day of the final. You might get a point back if you get all the corrections right, but it's something, right? So maybe, turn them in sooner than that. You get more points back, yes.
For 2.6, can you go over 93?
Oh, good. All right. These are always the funky problems where you got to actually think for a minute about how this might work. So this is the one about the median age. So the median obviously increased from 1980 to 1991, right? Yeah, and I know you guys were all born way after that, so shut up. What does it mean for the median age to rise? So this, what they really, the book is not the best at wording what they mean. So what they really mean is mathematically, what does it mean for the median age to rise? What is the median age? It's the age that is in the middle. So somehow the middle value sort of increased, right? So you can say that some way or another. If you want to give a physical reason, you can, but do you see how that's really part B? Part B is give 2 reasons why the median age could rise. So there are 2 main ways to make the median age of a group of people increase. And the best way to see it is to give yourself an example. Let's say some freak accident occurs and the population of the U.S. consists of, let me see, where I got some paper. Some 1-year-olds, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 5-year-old, right? That's it. So the 5-year-old's like, I'm in charge. So it's sort of like the way things are here now. Anyway. So, the median right now, so you guys got that. The median right now is what? 2.5. I like it. Now, we are God, right? Or whatever favorite deity you have. Spaghetti monster, whatever, right? So we can kill people or we can create people. Now, this is a horrible thing. I'm going to be killing some babies, but oh well, we're going to get past it somehow. I love it. I love it. You're all like, what the hell's wrong with my teacher? I don't give a shit. If I want the median to go up, there are 2 things I could do. So remember, I can create people or I can destroy people, right? So how can I make the median go up? I could create somebody who's where? If I want the median to increase, I can make somebody who's old, right? At least compared to these people. You with me? If I go down and I just create a 6-year-old, what's the median now? You could do it. Think about it. Look at the data. Maybe actually calculate it. Where's the median? The median's in the middle. 1, 2, A. So now the median would be 3. Did the median go up? All right, so let's take it back to reality. One way the median age could rise is if the population just has more old people, right? If people are living longer, the median age would go up. Now, what's the sadder way to have this happen? Or maybe not sad, it doesn't mean babies have to die, they just don't get created. The other way this could happen is if we just have less young people, right? If our birth rate decreases, right? So if I start over again, what was it to begin with? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That was the original. So if I just didn't have these, what's the median now?
3.5.
3.5. So that's the way I could do this. I wish I could go back in time too. Like, instead of killing them, just don't let them get born in the first place, right? So maybe we're having less babies. Maybe there's fewer babies. That's another way the median could increase. I didn't mean to do that whole problem for you, but it's just, damn it. But you see the thought process that has to go into this. I love that problem because it makes you really figure out what affects the median. The median's not affected by outliers, but it is affected if I have more up here, less down there, vice versa. Because that changes where the middle is. Maybe? And if you're paying attention, we basically just did the whole problem. I think there's a couple of more other questions on there, hopefully, so you got something to do yourself. Yes?
Can we do 95 for 2.7?
Oh, is that the one about this one here? 95% thing? I mean 75%?
Yes.
This one? So the answer is on the page there. How do I freeze this thing? Boop. There we go. What does the first quartile mean, for example? What's the first quartile mean? What's that mean? What percentage are below this? You can do it. First quartile is also P what? First quarter is P 25. So what does that mean? What percentage is below or at 528.5? 25%. So what percentage is above 528.5? 75%. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Because now you should be able to figure out. Should be able to. I love it when people complain that I don't finish a problem, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to finish your homework for you, but if that still doesn't make sense, you can always come see me, but that's all I'm going to say right now about that. You should be able to figure out 95 from what I just said. Anything else? We could do specific problems. You could say, can we do a problem like this, or anything. If you don't have any questions, we can sit here and look at each other, or you can work on the quiz corrections, right? That's always an option. You can just start doing some problems off the practice test if you haven't finished that. I'll give the answer key out in a few minutes. Yes. So you caught 4. Did you catch 9? Yep. So 9 out of 12. Yeah, so you just say that they could be subtracted, and it makes sense. Show me. Pick a couple temperatures, take the difference, and tell me what it means. Yeah.
Like, let's say it was the year.
Yeah, you'd say 2019 minus 2016 is 3. There's 3 years apart. One is 3 years older or whatever. Yes. If I said adult Ecuadorians are outside, you can see maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
If I said all adult Ecuadorians, holy shit, that's all. How the hell are they all there? They're probably blocking traffic.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can help us understand.
They get it? What? I hope so. Oh shit, let's start over. Okay. There's no way the sample is this, because the sample is the group that I randomly picked. You're trying to say that you randomly picked just the 62% that had this. No. That's what we did. That 62% has nothing to do with this problem. What people did I talk to? That's the sample. The 956. Yeah, the 956 adults. Where did I select them from? I only talked to 956 adults. That's what I picked. So what group did I pick from? All adults in the group. So if you write the sample, very often you just replace the number with the all. Because that's where you pick them from. Huh? Right across. Yeah. Pretty much.
And then this line.
Yeah, so, no. See how I didn't cross these, that's right, statistic is correct.
Okay.
It's not all the infants, see, and it references the population, that, if it did, that's a parameter, but it references the infant study. That is a sample. Right?
So infant study is the same.
And that's exactly, you have to, so statistic describes a sample. So anytime the answer is a statistic, you must say because it describes the sample. And a parameter describes a population.
So for this one, did I get knocked down on this? So it's a parameter because it's all the adults, correct?
Yeah, let me see, because all adults, not just the number who were sampled.
So not just the 52.
Oh, but see, that's not a sample, that's why you lost the point.
Okay.
52%
It's not the
is not a sample, because a sample is a group that I randomly configured.
Okay.
52% is what I actually saw from the population, I didn't pick them.
Okay. So it would be a parameter because it's all the adults.
Bam,
And
which
that's
is the
all-
population,
and
that's all I
that's-
got.
Okay.
Yeah, it describes the population.
Can I get a quiz?
Oh. What's your name?
Virginia.
Oh, that's you?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you ever know the practice test papers? I never got one
Oh.
last week.
No, I gave my last one out, but if you want to come after class, I can print one out for you in my office. Or just
Okay.
email me.
Well, I
Either way.
have a class right after.
You can just email me then. I can
Okay,
send you
no,
one.
thank you.
Oh, so you gotta connect the number 0 with the idea. Okay. So that if 0 people, that means the absence of people. You rounded, Ross. I think it's 13888, so it should be 13.9. You're rounding, the next one's an 8, so it's gotta go. Oh, okay, this probably an example about 8 patients. So when they talk about the population, tell me what it is from the example. I never asked you for definitions. Just say, okay. Okay, yeah.
Did you?
Yes, just make it really clear that it's a correction.
Would B just be nominal? Yeah, so.
No, I didn't say ordinal was wrong.
So.
But if you subtract, you get numbers. No, because like what's agreed divided by agreed minus. That don't mean anything. Yeah. So you just went too far. They're just names that have to be in an order.
But I was saying it wouldn't be anything past, like it wouldn't be interval because if you subtract or divide, you get numbers that you don't.
But see, the problem is you don't get numbers. Because the data is agreed, disagreed, strongly disagreed, so forth. So you can't subtract those, they're just names. You see what I'm saying? So I got worried that you were looking at the percentages, but that's not the data. The data is just the agreed, so forth.
For 3B, I completely missed it. It's the number of people in the grocery store.
Sure.
So I thought it was interval because person add a percentage.
Totally, I agree, but there's more.
Okay.
So you always give the highest level. The
So-
highest level is ratio.
Okay.
So if there are 8 people in our store, and then there were 2 people, and another time there were 2
Okay.
people, 4 times as many, 8 divided by 2 makes physical sense.
Okay, so in that
And
sense,
0 would be,
what it means
nobody
is
in the
the
store.
number. Okay.
yeah, that's why it's ratio. You gotta give me the highest level, or else everything would be nominal, because everything is nominal.
Right. Okay. Thank
You gotta
you.
get to the other side of the room.
Is it, so for this one, since it's numbers, you would do interval because you can't, or
It's saying like
really makes
degree.
sense if there's only two.
Yeah, so people were interpreting that to be the number that you get, it is the number of people. But the problem is, so how do you know it's not ratio?
Cause 0 doesn't make any sense.
Well, if I said 0, what would that mean? If I was recording how many people were in the deli, and somebody put a 0 down, does that mean something? Yes, of course it does. What does it mean? If I put a 2 down, what does that mean?
That there's 2.
2 people in the deli. So
So,
it's 0.
oh, it's 0 versus.
Yeah, if they close down, they go home, there's nobody in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how you know it's ratio, because 0 means what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
In the big pile. No, big pile of everything. Alright, I'm gonna get to stream. Totally did. Of course it is. Sample is a group you randomly pick. So when you say this, you're telling me somehow you randomly picked just the 9%. 9% has nothing to do with it. 9% is what they did with the data. The sample is who they worked with. So who did they work with? 211 infants. That's the sample. Where did they choose them from? That's the population. And of course, it's nice. You can almost always just replace the number. Right. Be sure you get all infants from where. That's this. Frequency is whole numbers. Yeah. Yeah, just rewrite it without the over 36. Yep. What's this say? 40? Oh, 37. Yes, beautiful. There it is. So you're showing me that the subtraction number makes actually. Yeah, I mean, those are the numbers that would show up on the histogram if you're going to make it. These are supposed to be whole numbers. So 7 to 12, 13. Yeah. You didn't round correctly, yeah. Since the next number is an 8, you got to make that a 9 if you want to have one decimal, yeah. I'm going to work that.
For this one, would it wouldn't be systematic because it's not every group, right?
Totally. We survey people as they come out of the DMV. Yes. Yeah. They didn't even try to be.
I knew that.
I know, I knew these two. I just started definition.
And like some of them are like I explained to the point where like I just hurt myself.
These I would have gotten.
You can like box it off if you want to say paper, you can put it on the back.
Like this one problem I was looking at.